Okay, so we're back in the Chofetz Chaim, a lesson a day. This is day 74 from his work Sefer Chofetz Chaim. This lesson is called A Better Deal. It is permissible to inform friends and neighbors of a store where they can obtain items of better quality or at better prices than at the store where they usually shop. So here are certain conditions have to be met. One should know the information firsthand. If one cannot verify the information firsthand, he would have to say, I've heard, but have not verified that. He must be certain that the quality of the other merchandise is superior. Brand names are not necessarily better. Where there is a significant difference in price, one must verify that the less expensive item is not inferior in quality to the more expensive one. So there must also be no suspicion that the preferred store is dealing in stolen merchandise, as halacha prohibits purchasing stolen goods. So in conveying the information, it is important not to imply that the first storekeeper is overcharging or is guilty of selling inferior products. One must convey the pertinent information without being judgmental. Furthermore, since people often view high pricing in a negative way, the information may be considered derogatory and can only be conveyed for a constructive purpose. Consequently, one may only relate the information to people who may be interested in making a purchase. Discussing the matter for the sake of making conversation might constitute Lashon Hara. Finally, one must consider why he deems it necessary to relate the information altogether. Perhaps it would be better not to get involved and refrain from any action which would affect the storekeeper's income. So this is all about the idea that whenever you tell somebody to go shop somewhere else, you're affecting, a individual's income. I'm not sure how much this applies the way that businesses are run today, where there's a lot of corporations and stuff like that, and it's disconnected, and they're considered, legal entities in and of themselves, as opposed to like a small, the mom and pop shops that used to be. So keep that in mind. But I got to jump back to the other side of the book, because now in the margin it says, when there is peace among God's legions on this world, there is peace among the heavenly legions. So from his work Sefer Shmirat HaLashon, this lesson is called Peace in Two Worlds. So Sefer Ma'alot Hamidot states, how damaging is strife? It can imperil one's very life. It was the feud between the shepherds of Abraham and the shepherds of Lot that caused Lot to move away from Abraham and settle in Sodom, where he almost perished along with the rest of the Sodomites. So our sages state, a home in which there is strife will ultimately be destroyed. So a synagogue in which there is strife will see its congregants dispersed, and ultimately will be made desolate. A city in which there is strife will become a place of bloodshed. Two scholars in a single city, or two rabbinical courts in a single city who feud with one another, and their end will be death. Moreover, strife between rabbinical courts brings destruction to the world. For when there is peace among God's legions in this world, there is peace among the heavenly legions, as it is written, who builds his upper chambers in the heavens, and his union is established upon the earth. Amos 9:6. When are his upper chambers built? When his union is established upon this earth, meaning when the Jewish nation is united in peace. Or, that goes even beyond that, beyond Judaism. Any nation, any community, if there's strife, it's just going to lead to division. It breaks itself apart. Any creature, any symbiotic relationship works that way. So it's just a Torah principle that is throughout the universe.